What's up, Masoners here, and today I'm going to talk about being in the prison mode, which is going to be like a 30-day challenge or so. That is basically going to be. I want to trick my mind so that I would do it for 30 days and then I would just stick to it. Because the problem currently is that I am kind of inconsistent with the meditation and all this stuff. Or I mean, I have been going for quite some time now. 7 days, whatever, in terms of meditation streak. I've been consistent before, but not every day, and I haven't done the routine every day, the nighttime routine every day, and I haven't been doing the good things like stretching and all this, and I want to add that in as well. So it's more of like a, I don't know, update, because it's been quite, I wouldn't say hard, but whatever, we can give myself a bit of grace here, but because I have been working in the school on basically I have been in my last year in university. I am in the thesis writing phase right now, and basically what that means is that I have to write the thesis, but didn't have any like topic to write it off or about. So I asked for some topics and they gave me something, but I had to design my shit. Basically, it's a little gas turbine, a jet engine, and basically they wanna measure the emission gases from the sustainable aviation fuels or aircraft fuels, SAFs, which are basically synthetic kerosene, and they wanna blend it with regular kerosene, Jet A1, and they wanna measure that. But I had the, so to speak, privilege that I got the job to do the literature review and then to make recommendations and then make like a plan about and design the measuring system that we can measure the emission gases with, because it's not just as simple as that. You have the jet exhaust and you stick a probe in there, and no, that's not that like simple. You need to have like multiple points. You need to heat the cables so that they don't cool down and under like dew point, which is like minimum 120 degrees C, but pressure, whatever. So it's a topic for another day. But what I have been doing is that I need to work on that on paper at least 40 hours per week, but I don't think I'm achieving that currently in terms of like normal regular hours. But because I'm working more focused than most of the people, as well as like I work 6 hours, and 6 hours is that I measure. Basically I sit down and I work like 1.5 hours, and that's work. I don't go anywhere, I don't check my phone for messages, I don't check the emails, I don't do jack shit. Instead, just do the fucking work for 1.5 hours, full focused, full flow state, and just doing the work 1.5 hours, having like or maybe 1 hour, then having like a 5-10 minute break, then going another hour, another half an hour, and like doing these deep, massive fucking deep work blocks, and making basically achieving total 6 hours. And it's not just like, yeah, I wake up at like, I don't know, 8 and I work till like 2 plus 3 because I have like 1 hour lunch break. No, is it fuck? I wake up at like 8, I start working, and because there are breaks and I don't just work like the little retard that I check my phone, I need to have like a break. I mean, probably if I really wanted to I couldn't, but then my the output would go down. So it's beneficial for me to go and take like a break, make myself a bit of tea or a little coffee, and then take it up. And then next time when I'm in the deep workout or deep work block, I will sip on it and whatever, do the thing anyways. So it's just, I've been doing quite some time, and I basically wake up, do the work, then I have some free time in the night. I finish usually at like 5 or 6 depending on what day I'm at. And basically when I finish at like 5 or 6 and then I have some time, I usually work on my project, which is, you don't see here, I have like, I'm just going to bring it here. I have been working on the motor control, which is basically a they call it a DC chopper, which is going to control a motor, a DC motor, direct current motor, electric motor. To basically, you can basically set its duty cycle, which means that you wanna set it to 60% power on, then it will be 60% power on. So if it spins like, I don't know, let's say very stupid example, if it spins 60 per second or per minute, that's 1 per second. And if you basically have like a max speed of 600, which is 10 per second, and if you take it down to let's say 50%, which is going to be 5 per second, which is 300 if I'm correct, then you can basically do that by giving basically like sending it signals and, you know, achieving that. Whatever, I have made that, and I've been working on this little piece here, which is going to be this is a air screw, basically a membrane air screw, which allows air, which doesn't allow air normally, because it's a normal, I mean, yeah, it doesn't allow air normally to go through here to here, but because you have the little screw here, this, that you can like spin like so, and as you slowly spin it, it starts to tighten, and you have like more resistance and more resistance as you turn it, and then it starts to like open a membrane inside. Then, or maybe with the I do not know how it works, but as you basically give it as you tighten it, basically it opens up the valve inside, and then it basically like allows air, and it's not just like nothing like, but two or three or up to 8 bars of pressure it can handle. But I use it for the atomization of the oil. Basically this is compressed air at like 2 bars above ambient. So I have made this stand for now, and I will basically make this, which is like a slip clutch that can basically slip as the needed torque on the shaft, because as I said, as you tighten it, there is more friction to basically turn it. So as it tightens, it gets harder and harder. So basically with like this little ring, little spring here, the theory is that you have some force that pushes them together, and basically if the force required to spin this is greater than the friction in between the plates, that will basically allow this to slip, and then the motor will not over tighten the shit. That's the theory. I will have to add more things to it, like a feedback loop and all this stuff, which is going to take me quite more time, but I have been starting to do this. This is the easier part. I would say the fine-tuning and making the feedback loop work and all this stuff, that's the harder part, the measuring and, you know, these boring works, because they are like monotonous, and you need to do it over and over and over and over and over and over until it works. Or you just need to figure out some different way if it doesn't work at all. So yeah, I've been working after the period of I'd say 5 or 6, usually till about 7. Maybe sometimes I just don't feel like it. So this is like a how do you say this? This is also a accountability vlogging, so that I can tell you what I did, and I probably will bring this back in terms of like a how do you say this? It's like a daily vlog or some shit, so that I can like talk about quickly what I did, and call it good enough how I'm feeling. And basically this is going to be the prism mode, because I basically I just, the theory is that I should have started it in the beginning, is that if you were like sentenced to jail, what would you do? Because if you just would like go in and you wouldn't do anything, you just sit around waiting to fucking be released, then you are just a fucking retard. And then if you had the time, you had time. And how you choose that time, you could basically, this is like fucking basically, man, this is a mind frame of Robert Greene. You have that time and a lifetime. That time is that you go there and you just waste away. You don't do jack shit. You have nothing to show for that period of time. A lifetime is then if you go into jail, you don't just do nothing, but you actually be productive, and you go to the library, you take books, you read, you meditate, you journal, you train like a dog, you get jacked as fuck, you, I don't know, learn new things in terms of like language, you read I don't know, poetry or whatever, you refine your character and you come out better than you were before. This is what happened to Malcolm X actually, because he was like a dumb little black kid when he went into the prison, but he could have basically gotten lower and lower, basically to get friends with the the gangsters there, and then when he came out, he could have been going into like harder stealing or like thefts or like I don't know, guns, whatever. He could have done worse shit, but he actually chose to learn and read a lot of books, theory, and all that kind of stuff in the prison, and he came out like a new man. He was more knowledgeable. He became like not literate, but you get the point, that he was like a little dummy when he went in, but he came like out like a fucking philosopher, like a new man, because he knows so much and he basically learned so much in prison, which there he had the time. It's just cope that I don't have the time. You can always read a fucking half an hour. Yes, there is a cope that, let's say, I would go into the school and I travel. I have like 2 hours and I kind of tired or just don't feel like it, but it's just bitching that you don't feel like it, because you have the time, you dumb fucker. You have the time, you just don't fucking do it because you are lazy as fuck. But if you don't feel like it doesn't mean that if you try, you are not going to be able to do it. Next time you will have more fucking, so to speak, endurance to be able to do it. So if I don't feel like fucking reading, even if I fucking read 1 page, the next time I will be able to do more. Meaning that next time I will be able to read like 1.5 pages, 2 pages. And if I stack enough days together, like 5, 10, 11, 20, and if I just don't stop, then I will be able to read the whole time. And what that does is that I can basically stack up knowledge. And even if I don't remember the fucking book, this is where actually like reading in a way that you read, because I don't read just like, like, I don't know, like little children, like story telltale books or whatever, I don't read like Harry Potter or anything like that. I read, I wouldn't say science. I mean, yeah, science. Let's call it science books. It's now what if you. I don't know if it loads up. Let's go outside. How do I get out of here? I'm a boomer, man. I don't know if you can read it. Fuck off. I'm a noob, bro. You can't read it, can you? Whatever, fucking PID controller, second edition, whatever. It's Armstrong. And basically he talks here about like step response and all this stuff. So it's not just like, yeah, I can read it because it's like a story. No, of course not, because bro, it's a fucking difficult as thing. I mean, it's not that difficult, but you need to comprehend it, you need to understand it. It's not just like, yeah, it's A and B, but you need to understand that A correlates to something. You know, it's not just like, let's say, he talks about here about like tuning methods. It's like the step response, which is basically a way to estimate how systems behave and how they respond to like, the systems have dynamics. It's like you give it something, let's say you put in one parameter, then it gets you out of two parameter, then the gain is going to be 2, of course, which is the output divided by the input. That's the system gain. But it's a bit more difficult in life. But that's the whatever. That's the basics. And there are like, you know, here you can see that there is like multiple things. Here there is the gain, which is going to be, I mean, you can't see it here, but A, which is amplitude, L is the time it takes. So this is the response time, this is the amplitude, and here there's this slope, which is A0, that's the total, I think that's the total gain, whatever. So it's basically this. So I am reading about this, and what I wanted to say is that it's been tough, but I will take it, man. It's just, it's hard because I am inadequate in terms of I don't have enough skill. But if I am going to go and I'm going to progress along inevitably, then I might as will get better, then I will be able to take more. It's just hard in the beginning, but yeah, that's the first long. I mean, it's actually the third day, but I hesitated yesterday. But yeah, but what if I will not be able to like, because I will not be able to call it day 1 because day 1 was yesterday, but I don't want to tell it's day 2 because then it will ruin the metrics, because then they will not have the first video. Who the fuck cares? I don't care. I will call it day 1, but fuck me. So right, I will. I have been going pretty well this time, so yeah. It's just longer days. It's just more work than you expect, and it's just harder. But if you think back, and we'll end this with this, if you think back 5 years ago, what problems you were dealing, then you would think to yourself now that, yeah, well, these were like childish fucking problems. When I think back 5 years, I was in 10th grade, then we were like dealing with like fucking, I don't even remember what we were dealing with, like logarithms, or like I think we were dealing with like Pythagoras theta, or like you know, the sinus, cosinus, all these things, which is like a joke now. But at the time it was difficult, which means that nothing is difficult to begin with. We are just always inadequate. But that's a good thing, because with time and repetition and practice, we can do everything better and everything becomes easier, just as with reading, as I said in the example. So yeah, do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it.